Hi everyone, it's Rianne. Thank you so much for joining me today for this pick a card reading, where we're going to be looking at what qualities make up your soulmate or your perfect match according to spirit. As a quick reading breakdown, we're going to start with some oracle cards where we look at the overall themes and energies of the soulmate relationship as a whole. And then we're going to get into some tarot, and with that, we're going to look at your current energy, some of your repeating romantic patterns, and then we're going to dive into what qualities, characteristics, or personality you might find in your soulmate or your perfect match, as well as what you might want to avoid in a partner. So our goal for this reading today is to give you some ideas of what you might want to look for or avoid when you're getting to know people, so that you can use your own judgment in determining if someone is for you or not. So if you need to take a minute here and pause the video while you reflect on which pile you are most drawn to, please do, and I will see you in the reading. Hi pile 1, welcome to your reading. Thank you so much for being here with me today. If you chose this pile, your crystal is citrine. So let's take a look at your oracle messages. We have leadership, unfinished symphony in reverse, communicate clearly, and then your spirit cat is paradox. The leadership card is about the North Star, which is like a guiding light that people use to find their way. So I feel like with this soulmate connection, you might be a bright light for your person, or they might end up being that for you. They shine light on the darker parts of life and help you find your way. And in a more literal sense, you or both of you might have some sort of leadership role where you are leading and guiding people, maybe in a business field or in your ideals or spiritually, some sort of position where you're paving the way for people, showing the way forward. Unfinished symphony in reverse here. This card for me is like something is unfinished business. So I'm wondering if it's like there's something that you were working on, or a goal that you had, or a project, a passion or something that you never really got around to finishing, and you taking the time to actually finish this is what might lead you to this person, or meeting them will be the thing that pushes you to finish it, and they might help guide you into finishing something. I think for like a select few people, take it only if it resonates. It could be unfinished business with somebody that you have been involved with before. That's definitely not for everyone, but it's a possibility there that there's something or someone where you might reconnect with them and finish what you started, so to speak. I definitely think the unfinished project could play in with somebody coming into your life that reignites your passions or your goals or your excitement. They would be like a cheerleader for you, or somebody that helps you to be your best. If they're a leader of sorts, then I think they would be somebody who has maxed out or is at least building to their highest potential. And I think they would be very supportive of you doing the same. Communicate clearly here. I think that you and your partner will have very open and honest lines of communication. They should probably be a very good communicator. I also think that it might be having to speak up and maybe somebody is going to be putting themselves out there and like speaking their intentions very clearly, like towards their feelings for you. And paradox here, I'm just going to read this. Meet Stardust. He is the convergence of opposites. He is the dark and the light. He is a magician that turns everything on its head, pawing at the paradox. He travels the galaxies with his best friends, free will, and destiny. No one knows where one begins and the other ends. He sees the good in the evil and the evil in the good. Within every blessing, there is a tragedy, and within every tragedy, there is a blessing. We think we know what is what, but Stardust throws everything into question. Let the paradox open up our thinking and our perspective. So that brings me back to like this, I said something about the North Star, like shining light on the dark parts. I think you and or both of you might have been through some dark times, but it's not something that burnt out the light or like the love that either of you has to give, and it gives you a deeper understanding of life and love and your values. This looks like the North Star in this card too. That's so cool. And maybe you both look at something in a bit of an unconventional way. This is a very creative card. You might both be like kind of like creative, outside the box people. Paradox, convergence of opposites. Like you might be also very different from each other. Light and dark, like a yin yang, but it's going to be something where like you complement each other very well. So I want to look into the tarot cards now. So we're going to start with some information about where you're at currently. Your energy, repeating romantic patterns and unconscious fears. I would assume for most people that are watching this, you're still looking for your soulmate. So I think it's helpful to see what brought you to this point and maybe why you haven't found them yet. Tell me about pile one, please. Okay, so we have Judgment, the King of Wands, and the Nine of Cups. I just heard like bearing your soul. I think you've been through some things where it's like coming to a realization of where you're at, trying to wade through like the high grass and the weeds and cutting through to see like who you are truly, and trying to find that light within yourself and set it free. Like whatever, I kind of want to see like what else might have happened here. Seven of Swords. Yeah. You've probably been through some sort of betrayal or like a deceit, and it's difficult for you to trust people. And you're in a position now where you're learning to trust yourself again before being vulnerable with other people. Because when somebody deceives you and breaks your trust, it doesn't just affect the way that you trust other people. It makes you feel like your own judgment is not reliable. So I think some people might be doing some internal healing, some inner work, trying to connect. It's like you're connecting with your intuition, with your higher guidance, your higher calling, and just searching within to find the way forward. Your repeating romantic pattern, King of Wands. There might be a type that you've gone for traditionally. It could be that you have traditionally been attracted to very, King of Wands is masculine energy, but like take this either way. Somebody who is very like dominant It's kind of like alpha energy. King of Wands is very outgoing, very strong-willed. They're a very like passionate, fiery energy, but like in excess, could be somebody that's a little bit like dominating, and an unconscious fear that you've had with your relationships. 9 of Cups. The 9 of Cups is like reaching your highest level of happiness before you have a partner, all right? Like 10 of Cups is like happy family, happy partner, having it all with other people. 9 of Cups is like having it all but for yourself. So I wonder if perhaps there's a fear that you're giving up some independence, or maybe you've compromised on your own happiness or the things that light up your life to satisfy the partners that you've had. Sometimes, especially if it's like a very like dominant person, it's like you spend a lot of time doing what they want. Maybe it's like a people-pleasing situation where, you know, your hobbies, your friends or your family or whatever you like to do to fill your cup, maybe takes a backseat to the relationships that you've had previously. So let's see what is the ideal personality type for you. What personality type is your soulmate? Pile 1 soulmate. Okay. So, the High Priestess. I think you're going to be very compatible with somebody who is intuitive and connected. They could be a spiritual person. I think you might be a little spiritual too, like with this Judgment card back here. I think it's like surrendering to something higher than yourself. And I think this person also may resonate with that, and they also have a high level of trust in themselves and the ability to self-reflect. Very like intuitive water energy there too. 10 of Swords, I think they are, I said this before, I think maybe one or both of you have been through some difficult things, and it gives you an appreciation of what you have. 10 of Swords is like very heavy, it can be like a heavy pain and a heavy, difficult ending. And this person may have had a series of difficult endings, but it does not damper their optimism or their perspective going forward. 10 of Swords is coming to the end of a cycle so that healing can begin as well. And I think that this person would be somebody that helps you to heal your own wounds. There's only so much healing that you can do on your own before you're in partnership with another person, and that's another level of healing that has to happen. You know, you can work on yourself and your self-trust, but you're not actually going to heal the issues with trusting other people until you're put in a position to trust another person and to work through that. And I think this could be a very like healing person who understands and helps and guides you towards your own healing. 5 of Wands. You know what? The message that I get from this card is just so odd and abstract. I see them like climbing these like branches, and it reminds me of people that go bouldering, or they like rock climbing, or like climbing trees, which I know is like so random and even looks like they have little climbing shoes on. Maybe there's somebody that literally likes to climb things outside, rock climbing and stuff like that, and they're active in that way. Or maybe more figuratively, they have climbed like the ladder of success to be like in that leadership role that we previously talked about. And Nine of Swords. This person, I think, could be a bit of an overthinker as well. Yeah, they've been through something. I want to know more. This person. Four of Cups. They're a creative person, and I think that they spend some time in their head to the point like it blocks their creativity. I think this person needs to feel creatively inspired or engaged or be doing and creating things to feel satisfied in life. They're very, there's like an artistic component to this card, and I think they would feel very dissatisfied or like something is lacking without that. They're like, creating is what brings color and light to their life. I think this person would be very reassuring of any anxieties or doubts, overthinking, anything of that nature that could happen, because I think that they could be prone to that themselves. And it wouldn't be like, it would not be the type of person that's like, well, you're overthinking or expecting you to just get over something. I think there's just a really high level of understanding of each other, and that like clear communication for understanding each other's minds and understanding the fears and the anxieties. So, a quality to seek. Ooh. Okay, well, we have a couple. So, oh, well, that's fun. Okay, so we have Knight of Swords and Knight of Wands. So, this card, Knight of Swords, this guy's literally running down a dirt path towards a dirt bike. It's like a very fast moving, adventurous energy, and the Knight of Wands is also very fast moving. I think you need stimulation, you need movement, you need excitement, somebody that is active with a quick thinking mind, and somebody that is, there's like a lighthearted, carefree, free-spirited energy to the Knight of Wands. It's a very passionate, fiery energy. I think qualities of people that are active and carefree and they let their hair down and they don't really care about what other people think is what Spirit is saying is a good match for you. Whereas, let's see maybe what's not a good fit for you. Page of Wands. Page of Wands is similar energy to the Knight of Wands, but it's definitely a more beginning stages energy to the Knight. I think the Page of Wands is somebody who's starting to embrace who they fully are. They haven't come full circle into like fully embodying themselves. Whereas the Knight of Wands knows who they are and they live that way without worry about judgment. So in something that you would maybe want to avoid is somebody who is just figuring out who they are. Definitely a more like mature energy. Somebody who's more situated in their path, in their role. And I want to end this here with a final message. Anything else you need to know about your soulmates? Anything else for pile one, please? The Moon. The Moon. This is crazy because the Moon is also illuminating, and it has the dark and the light, and it's like a deep understanding and an illumination of both. This relationship, I feel, it's gonna go deep and it's gonna go dark, but not in a bad way. It's gonna go dark and it's gonna be healing, and it's gonna be like, it's gonna show you all parts of yourself, even the ones you don't like, but even the dark parts are gonna be met with love and understanding. And I think part of this relationship working is embracing yourself as a whole and embracing other people as a whole. You know, no one's perfect. We all have good and bad qualities that make us who we are. I also feel with this card that there's like a subconscious knowing and understanding of who this person will be to you when you meet them. Yeah. Death, rebirth. It's gonna be a very transformative relationship. And I think the biggest transformation is gonna be healing and coming into who you both really are. Well, pile one, I think that is the message that I have for you. I hope this was helpful, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Hi, pile two. Thanks so much for joining me today for this reading. If you chose this pile, you chose turquoise. So let's take a look at some oracle cards for your... So let's take a look at some oracle cards to get an overall theme of your soulmate relationship. We have adventures, no place like home, abundance, and gratitude. Amazing. With adventures being here, I feel that this person is obviously very adventurous, and I think that the two of you might spend a lot of time going on little adventures together. Maybe even traveling to more exotic places. I also think what could bring you together is something maybe outside of your comfort zone. Like maybe you're going on like a little adventure that you normally wouldn't go on, and it brings you to this person. But this relationship, I feel, it won't be mundane. I think it's the type of relationship where it makes the day-to-day like fun and exciting, and you turn everything into a little like fun activity, a little fun adventure. Like even going grocery shopping and like doing the laundry, like there's just a very lighthearted, exciting energy to the things that you will do together. And maybe you're going to do a lot of exploring of the world and of each other. No place like home. I just feel like this person, it's going to feel like you've known them forever. And I just thought of home could be anywhere as long as I'm with you. That's sweet. There's like a familiarity. You might be immediately comfortable with each other. Also, this is random. I wonder if like one of you has lived away for a while or was traveling, and then like maybe someone lives further away from their like hometown or something for work, or like they went for school or something, and being home is where you bump into this person. Part of the goals of your relationship too could be maybe you want to build a house together and like have a home. That could be important to one or both of you. With abundance being here, I think that this relationship may be something that is like very financially stable. Sorry, my camera was slipping. So I think this relationship could be one that is very financially stable and abundant in that way. Maybe you coming together is going to be something that allows you to make a lot of money. And if in a less literal sense, it could just feel like you live a very, very full life together. And I guess that ties into like the adventure, like an abundant life could be like abundant with experiences that you have together. Okay, let's read gratitude. Meet Grace. She receives the gifts of the universe with open paws. When she shifts her mind to see what wonders are flowing in, the world glimmers with beauty. It is easy to focus on all those unmet desires, gone astray plans, and everything beyond the horizon of now. Let Grace remind you to notice all the blessings we are receiving. What feels good? Let it in. What is making your heart sing even a quiet, momentary song? Who do you love that is with you now in spirit or right by your side? Let each thank you open your heart a little more. So I think with this, it's a relationship where even if you have a lot of abundance, there's a lot of gratitude, and it's not likely that either of you would take each other for granted. An appreciation of every little thing and an appreciation of each other that just grows over time. I think with this gratitude card here too, and talking about little blessings, I think it's a hint to have an attitude of gratitude in order to bring this soulmate relationship into your life. You know, follow the little things that make you happy and that light you up. Feel blessed, and it should lead you in the right direction. So I want to look at your current energy, your repeating romantic patterns, and maybe a fear that you have. Oops. That has prevented you from finding, I'm not ready for this yet. That has prevented you from finding your soulmate. Pile number 2, please. Yes. Okay. This. That's funny because this is like a lot of the same cards from pile 1, just like in different positions. So that's interesting. Your current energy is King of Wands. And I think this is you potentially working on career, working on your project and taking yourself to a higher level, working on your own confidence, your assertiveness, and your own power. It's like you might not be looking for love actively right now. I think your priority might be your goals and what you're trying to achieve. Yeah. Page of Cups is like, oh yeah, it would be nice one day, but I don't know if it's gonna happen for me. It's just kind of like maybe you think about this person, you daydream like, oh, it'd sure be nice if I met my soulmate, but you know, like right now I'm doing me, I'm building my business, I'm doing me. But I think you are a romantic at heart. Maybe you're just not. It's just not the priority right now. And your repeating romantic pattern with death and rebirth, I think you've had some big changes as the result of relationships ending. And they changed you as a person. It changed your priorities. And it's like a constant cycle of like death, rebirth, and like you growing into like a stronger, more resilient person with each ending. But it's like, you know, when are they going to stop ending? When is it just going to be my turn? To the point that you're like, oh, it'll happen when pigs fly. So I'm just gonna be the big boss over here. I wonder too with this, if maybe you have a habit of outgrowing your relationships. If you're King of Wands energy, it means you have reached like a peak, and it's a very ambitious energy. And I wonder, you know, as you're leveling up as a person, as you're leveling up in your life, maybe the relationships that you found yourself in were no longer in alignment and you had to let them go. An unconscious fear that you have that might have prevented you from finding your soulmate it's largely perspective. I wonder if you worry if you let someone go that you shouldn't have. It's like, did I have this and I didn't know what it was when it was being offered to me and now it's gone? Yeah. And worrying that the other part of this is maybe worrying, like you've seen what's out there. Oh my gosh, it's like, you know, when you like swipe on dating apps and you're like, no, thank you, I would rather die alone. No, thank you. It's like a fixation. It's like, I've seen what there is. None of this excites me. This doesn't fill my cup. And it's like, well, will I ever find that one? So let's see what Spirit thinks is the personality type of your soulmate or perfect match. Okay, pile 2, soulmate, please. Personality traits. Pile 2's person. Oh. Okay. We have 3 of Pentacles, Knight of Wands, Page of Pentacles, and the Moon. So I think I talked about maybe other people not being as ambitious as you. This person is a craftsman. Maybe not like literally, they could be. I mean, this is like a macrame art project, but like the 3 of Pentacles is the master builder. They're like a master of their trade, a master of their craft, of their art, of their business. And they have the ability to build significantly on their skills and to make something absolutely like magnificent. They take charge of their life and they build it according to their own vision. This person probably, this, it's funny, pile 1 got this card too. Knight of Wands is like, this is an interesting contrast to your King of Wands. I think this person is gonna encourage you to not take everything so seriously and like have the work life balance. It's like, yeah, right, you know, you're working on your project and you're working so hard, but you need to, you know, let your hair down and have some fun, and like you don't need to always worry about the image that you're portraying, and you don't always need to worry about being hyper productive. I think, yeah, this person might be like, in contrast to you, I think they might be a little bit more like artsy and free-spirited, which could be like a very nice balance for you. This person, when it comes to money, it's interesting. They're starting out, I wonder if maybe they've just like launched. They're working on their own little like project or business or something, and it's like very beginning stages, and they're planting seeds, and it's starting to take root, but it hasn't grown into that yet. But there's a really good possibility that both of you are gonna build that abundance, but they do plan for the future. I don't think they are financially where they want to be now, but they have the aspirations and the ability and the foresight to plan for the future and to get there. With the Moon too, this is like water, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy. I think they are probably a very deep person. They feel to me, I'm getting a little bit of like hippie vibes. Like emotionally, they're an emotional person. They feel very deeply. They're very expressive. They don't care what other people think about them. And I feel like they're so intuitive, they're gonna be able to read you like a book. It's like they see you and it's like they look into the depths of your soul. Yeah, it's gonna be like a very deep connection. And it's gonna be illuminating for you. I think you're gonna learn some things about yourself and life from this person. So I want to see quality. Woo! Yay, qualities to look for in this person. 4 of Pentacles and Queen of Pentacles. Lots of Pentacle here. They're going to be a very stable person. Very grounded energy, very calm, very grateful, very appreciative for what they have. The 4 of Pentacles in other decks can be like a little bit of like a miserly card, but this deck here to me is just like a sentimental appreciation for the things that you have. And I think they're a very nurturing person. I think they might, they're probably very connected to nature. The Queen of Pentacles can be a little bit of a homebody too. And they are very practical with money. So that ties into the page back here, planning for the future. Even if they're not where they want to be now, they know how to get there, and they're going to nurture their growth and their projects until they get there. And what you should avoid in your partner search. What's not a good fit for pile 2? Temperance. For some reason, with Temperance this time, I heard tit for tat. It's like you don't want somebody who does something and wants something back from you in return. It's like, you know, oh, I did this for you. You don't appreciate what I did for you. Like, where's mine? I think the person that you're meant to be with is going to just be like very appreciative. They're not going to expect anything from you, but what they do receive will mean a lot to them. And they're not going to do something for you with the expectation that you give back to them in some way. I don't know why. I just heard like someone who gets their hands dirty. You want this earthy energy. I just think about like somebody digging in a garden and that like hard work, and they put in the time and the effort, and they don't just sit and wait for things to happen for them. You having King of Wands energy, you probably would be repulsed by somebody who is complacent and just sits around waiting for things to happen. You know, your person makes it happen. They have a vision and they carry it out, and they get there. They dig their way one little pinnacle at a time. Okay, let's see if we have a final message for you. Pile 2. Anything else? King of Cups. Okay, yes. I think this person's gonna be sensitive and emotional, but very in control of their emotions. They feel deeply, very sentimental person. They have a lot of love to give. And I think, you know, there's somebody, when they put the time in, they're putting it in for the long haul. And I think this soulmate will be somebody that you will have a long future with. Well, pile 2, I think those are all of the messages I have for your reading today. Thank you so much for letting me do this for you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Hi, pile 3. Welcome to your reading. If you chose this pile, then you chose the clear quartz crystal. So let's get into your oracle cards and get a sense of the themes and energies of your soulmate relationship. We have freedom, exchanging gifts, romance, and mystery. Cute. So with freedom here, I feel that one of the themes of this relationship could be a certain degree of independence and freedom to explore and grow as an individual outside of this relationship. If you've had relationships that are stifling of your free time and your own personal hobbies and aspirations, I think this would be one that is very opposite to that. It's going to be the type of relationship where you go out, you accomplish things on your own, you do things on your own, and then you come back together to a very like loving and romantic connection. If I jump around a little bit here, this being mystery, I feel strongly that maybe there is the mentality that if you spend every minute together throughout the day, where's the mystery? I think there might be an excitement in your relationship of coming together later and being like, tell me what you did today. You know, what are you working on? And part of the romance, part of the connection is coming together after, you know, the space from each other. Exchanging gifts, I think maybe the love language for your soulmate or you, or both of you, is giving gifts. I think maybe that's going to be an expression of love, even if it's just like, doesn't have to be lavish. Even if it's just like in your time apart, they see something little that reminds them of you and they bring it back to you, and that's just how they like show love. With this too, I wonder maybe there might be a pet or a cat involved in your connection. This is going to be a very romantic connection with a lot of love, with a lot of displays of romance. Wine and dine, I just heard. And we'll read this card here too. Mystery, meet Esmeralda. She is the sweet unknown and the allure of endless mystery. There are things that are impossible for our human minds to fully comprehend. The future is often obscured from our view, yet we still must make decisions without knowing the ultimate outcome. The mystery can feel dazzling and full of possibilities, or it can feel ominous and freeze us in our tracks. Esmeralda beckons us to make peace with the mystery. Let the great unknown sit beside you as you wash the dishes and fall in love and write your story and live your strange and winding life. So I think there's going to be romance and beauty in the unknown with this person, but it's going to be a very like exciting theme of the relationship. So let's take a look in the tarot for your current energy, some of your repeating romantic patterns or fears that have prevented you from finding your soulmate up to this point. So let's hear for pile 3. Tell me about them, please, Spirit. Woo. Ooh. Okay. Whoa. Man, I did not get jumpers in the other ones. Okay. 2 and fear. Okay, so we have the Fool, the 8 of Wands, and the 2 of Pentacles. Where you're at currently with the Fool, I think you are totally ready to leap into something brand new and something unknown, totally embracing the unknown, talked about here with Esmeralda and her mystery. I think you're in a really good place mentally, like so optimistic and hopeful about the future. And I think, you know, with this being a soulmate and love reading, I think you are just absolutely trusting the universe and ready to dive in and find that person now. Whereas some of the other piles I don't think they were quite at the point where they were actively looking. I think you are, or you're about to be, at the point where you're ready to take that leap of faith. So your repeating romantic pattern and unconscious fears, I think, tie together really well here. With your 8 of Wands and 2 of Pentacles, the fear with the 2 of Pentacles is like, am I settling? Am I compromising too much? Am I giving way more than I'm getting out of a relationship? Is it one-sided? Is there someone out there that's better for me? And I wonder maybe with our little pile 3s here, if maybe you have let go of relationships with the fear or knowing that there's more out there for you. You know, there are more people out there to get to know. And if you found the right one, you would know and you'd be taking that leap of faith. There's also a bit of an indecisiveness here too. So perhaps in the past you have struggled to commit to your choice of a romantic partner, like for the long term. It's kind of like analysis paralysis. It's like juggling options. And that doesn't like physically mean you're like dating a bunch of people at one time. Maybe you are. No judgment here. but it's more so like, is this person right for me? Are they not right for me? It's just juggling the unknown when it comes to dating, and not finding the spark that ignites. You know, it's like, okay, I feel a little something here. Maybe this is my person. And then the little spark, it doesn't turn into something. It's like you're waiting to find that one that sets you on fire, and you haven't found it yet. That's interesting. So let's see your ideal personality type or qualities of your soulmate, pile 3. Okay. Very nice. Okay, we have the Magician, the 9 of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups, and the Sun here for you, for your soulmate. This person is a manifester. Whether they realize it consciously or not, they're a dreamer that brings things into the reality. This seems just like a very joyful, happy, content person. I think perhaps they are someone who feels a connection to the universe and the divine and energy. And I think they're probably somebody, it's like they believe that they get out what they put into something. Very like emotionally nurturing person. It's interesting. There's a lot of imagery of like energy and like water flowing from someone's hands. They might just, their touch might feel, you might just feel how much they love you when they touch you. It might be like healing that person, you know. Physical affection might be an expression of love and healing, as well as like the gift giving there. With 9 of Pentacles, I think this person is very secure, happy, content, satisfied with where they are as an individual. I think if we tie this in with freedom, I think they would also want you to experience your own security and fulfillment outside of the relationship. You know, the relationship isn't the thing that makes you feel whole. You're both very complete whole people on your own, and you come together with a lot of like love and admiration to give to each other. For some reason, I also keep thinking this person might be into meditation. It just looks like very meditative. These people with like their eyes closed, focusing on the heavens or the earth below. I'm also drawn to the Sun here. Maybe they have maybe they're like a Leo or something, ruled by the Sun. I think this person likes to have fun and isn't somebody that gets bogged down with overthinking or worry. They seem just like a very easygoing, lighthearted person. See for a quality to seek while you're looking for this person, or while they're looking for you. Yeah, we have the King and the Queen of Cups. Yes. And the Queen of Swords. Okay, so I think reading these in tandem together, if somebody makes you feel like you need to defend yourself, or you're feeling guarded and on edge, you know, if they're saying something that makes you want to like verbally lash out, that's not your person. That's not them. Your person is going to meet you on the same emotional level. I think you both give and receive love in a very complementary way. I think you'd probably both wear your hearts on your sleeve, your emotions on your sleeve. A very emotionally balanced person. There's a fair amount of water here too. I wonder if one or both of you lives near water, or you'll meet them near water. That's interesting. But yeah, you would want somebody that has a level of emotional maturity and can meet you with emotional understanding, and that does not make you feel like you need to be on the defense. Let's see if there's any other messages for you before we close this off. Whoops, just kidding, I dropped the whole deck. Let me fix this. Okay. Final messages for pile 3, please. Okay. Knight of Wands has come out for every pile. Okay. Yeah. Again, I don't know what's in the air these days, but the relationships that are coming through for everyone are ones where you are free to be yourself. You can let your hair down. You can be wild and free without judgment. This person's not going to judge you. This is going to be the person that lights your wand on fire. And that didn't sound great, but you know what I mean. And with Strength here, you're both emotional people, but when you come together, instead of overpowering one another and like fighting for the dominant position, you become a stronger unit together. You are, the counterpart of like the king and the queen. There's somebody who also, like, you don't always need to be a lion. You can be the lamb and know that that person has your back, and vice versa. You don't have to worry so much. And I think those are all the messages that I have for your reading today, pile 3. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.